Alright. Abel, and the rest of the Dragon Ball protests, and especially you, Abel, since apparently you didn't learn your lesson back in 2012. I think it was 2012. Yeah, late 2011 and early to mid 2012, when the Formidable Warrior and myself are raiding on Dragon Ball Z Kai. And apparently, since you also didn't learn your lesson from my various 2013 through 15 and 16 rants on Dragon Ball Z, since you apparently didn't learn your lesson, we're going to go over Dragon Ball Kai. We're going to go over Dragon Ball Kai one last time. And you probably won't learn your lesson after this, but at least after this video is finished, you won't be able to return or come back again. Return or come back again. Yeah, before I get started, you had the gall, Abel, you had the gall, you had the audacity. If I do not like the original Dragon Ball Z, why would I like Dragon Ball Z Kai, which is the original, except 1,000 times worse? Horrible. Atrocious voice acting. Terrible remastered animation. The same shitty story, just with all the filler cut out. Next, what else? Oh yeah, still lazily rehashing. Even though they promised to get rid of filler, they rehash lazy filler, like Captain Ginyu, like Bulma switching bodies with Captain Ginyu the Frog. Gohan coming back to fight Frieza, Frieza, who he is no match for. Lame, crappy stuff like that, and more stuff from the quote-unquote original, which brings to my last one, still not following the manga when they were supposed to be adapting the quote-unquote manga. So, once again, but, yeah, Dragon Ball. See, this is one other reason, Abel, I can't stand you Dragon Ball Z fans. You're idiots. You're morons. Sheep, hypocrites. You act like, oh, Dragon Ball Z is like our Western comic books and comic book franchises. Where, let's give an example, X-Men and Justice League. X-Men and Justice League, the movie, the cartoons, comics, and video games. They are similar in several areas. But they are all, for the most part, different when it comes to storyline and lore. With Dragon Ball anime and the manga, there are several differences, but for the most part, the basic storyline in both versions, the basic script is still the quote-unquote same, and no Kai, no recut, no redub, no remix will ever change or fix that. You cannot polish a piece of shit, dumbass. So yeah, once again, you probably won't learn. So yeah, So which brings me to number 2. How does Dragon Ball Z Kai? How does redubbing their voices, rewriting the dialogue, and rewriting the script based upon the same storyline, rewriting the script. How does that fix? Yeah, you got rid of all the filler plot holes. What about the ones in the series itself? How does that fix? How does that fix all the? How does that fix all the stuff that sucked about the series? Gohan. Let's see. Number one. Oh yeah. The two I hated the most. The two I hated the most. I disowned Dragon Ball Z because of these and Super. But oh yeah, the Z Fighters failing and allowing Cell to achieve his quote unquote perfect form. The Z Fighters, even though they achieved godlike power, in the last two sagas, the Saiyan and Namek saga, proved that in order to compete with the Saiyans and the Frieza Force and Ginyu Force people, you need the gravity training. You need the Kami, Popo, King Kai, and the Goku spaceship gravity training to complete them. Yet these same Z Fighters couldn't beat a bunch of weak androids created on Earth, and who I went and read who before being equipped with cybernetics were normal everyday humans. Somehow equipping regular humans with cybernetics creates a being that is strong enough to battle around a quote-unquote Super Saiyan, this quote-unquote Super Saiyan, battle around a Super Saiyan and straight up one shot a non-Saiyan quote-unquote warrior, where even if you can get their moves, you can spy on them and get their moves, you can't duplicate or replicate their training unless you go through the same training as well. How does Dragon Ball Z Kai fix that? This is a ripoff of Terminator and Sonic the Hedgehog. But at least in Sonic the Hedgehog and Terminator, they're superhuman, but not to the level of Z Fighters. And in order to achieve a power closer to Z Fighters, they made it realistic. In Sonic the Hedgehog, you need rings and you need Chaos Emeralds for that. To achieve their Super Saiyan based quote-unquote powers. Their Super Saiyan quote-unquote powers. Both the Sonic the Hedgehog creator and Toriyama borrowed ideas from each other, except Sonic's took Toriyama's ideas and not only did them right, but did them better than he ever could. Toriyama, as usual, takes other people's ideas and disgraces it and makes it worse and makes it gay. Everything that was ever cool about any other franchise, when we got to Toriyama's version of it in his franchise, it was gay and terrible. So yeah, what else about Toriyama? What else about quote unquote Toriyama? Oh yeah. So yeah, what else? So yeah, there was that. Cell games. Goku quitting against Cell. Not only did he quit against Cell. Not only did he quote unquote quit against Cell without telling anybody. Not only did he quit against Cell, but he quit without telling anybody. Anybody. And had it not been for Android 16 sacrificing himself, everyone would have died just like in Trunks' future. Which, looking back, that should have happened because everyone sucked after this saga. So that probably should have happened. Yeah. How does Dragon Ball Z Kai fix that? Then Gohan. After Gohan fights and toys with Cell and knocks Android 18 out of him, Cell decides to blow himself up. Try and blow himself up. So Goku teleports him to a quote-unquote another planet, and Cell somehow because of his nucleus and one part of him not being destroyed, he was able to quote-unquote regenerate and come back to Earth as Super Perfect Cell. And then you got him killing Trunks when he gets back, in Vegeta foolishly flying off in a blind rage and attacking Cell with multiple ki blasts, which has never worked in Dragon Ball Z. And Vegeta, plot hole. He couldn't beat regular Perfect Cell. What was he gonna do against Super Perfect Cell? And all the people come out there and say, oh, he was trying to avenge Trunks. Attacking Cell and getting yourself killed, injured, and being a liability to the team is not redeeming Trunks. Is not redeeming or avenging Trunks. Just like in the Namek Saga, I'll talk about this later, about telling Frieza to transform, foiling your own plans, and getting your ass kicked is not redeeming or avenging the Saiyans. So, yeah, how does Dragon Ball Z Kai fix that? It doesn't. Bad writing is bad. Bad writing is bad writing. Bad writing is bad writing. Then we get to the worst one. Majin Buu. These guys didn't learn anything from the Cell of previous sagas. They made the same mistakes they made in Cell and previous sagas here in the Buu saga. Supreme Kai firstly waited until Babidi got 3 powerful warriors under his control and stole Majin Buu's quote-unquote ball to assemble a task force that quote-unquote go stop him. To assemble a task force, just like the Piccolo saga all over again. Powerful prisons or balls or jars are located in places where someone can find this, instead of being on the world of the Kais where no one could get to it, or the Piccolo saga, Kami's Lookout, where no one could get to it. No one could quote-unquote get to it. So then they go to Majin Buu's place. So then he assembles a task force that includes Krillin, who is useless and weak. What purpose did Krillin have there? He was there to get captured, which forced the Z Fighters to go into the spaceship, where the Z Fighters could have stayed on the outside and kicked Babidi's warriors' butts, then went inside and killed Babidi, and mission accomplished right there. Z Fighters, they failed the easiest mission in the world: prevent the release of Majin Buu. They failed the easiest mission. All you had to do: defeat Babidi's warriors, kill Deborah, kill Babidi, mission accomplished. They failed the easiest mission ever. How does Dragon Ball Kai fix that? And what use was Krillin there? Plot hole number 1. Krillin, Plot hole number 2, Vegeta's inclusion in his team. And trusting Vegeta. Quote-unquote Vegeta. Since when does Vegeta care about Videl? When Smokovich was beating the living daylights out of Videl. Quote-unquote Videl. Since when does Vegeta care about Videl? That should have let you know that Vegeta was up to something. They actually foolishly believed Vegeta was there, even though he made it clear he only entered the tournament to fight Goku. Vegeta was there to fight these other weirdos from Since when does Vegeta care about Hercule's family? And since when does Vegeta fight for Krillin and Piccolo, who got turned to stone? Like I said, total out of character moment when it comes to their reactions towards Vegeta. And then Supreme Kai, who's supposed to be a god and all-knowing and knows of Vegeta's criminal past, foolishly trusted Vegeta on the mission, and that cost you and the team the mission, and was shocked when Vegeta betrayed them to gain more power. How does Dragon Ball Z Kai fix that, Abel? It doesn't. It's poor writing, dumbass. So stop walking around defending Dragon Ball Z Kai. And now they can't. Before I continue with more, you can't defend it now, because back in late 2011 and 12, 13 and 14, I criticized them for reusing the same animation, not creating new animation. We just had Dragon Ball Super, and around that time we had Dragon Ball Super, a new Saint Seiya show, and a new Sailor Moon show, and a new quote-unquote Sailor Moon show, which are all from Toei, Yet we couldn't get a brand new, superior, remade, updated version of Dragon Ball. Updated version of quote-unquote Dragon Ball. We had to get the crappiest remaster of all time, which the DVDs and Blu-rays remastered picture quality looks much better. Looks quote-unquote much better. Looks like a modernized version of the thing. So Yeah, yeah, there is no defense for Dragon Ball Kai. There is no defense for Dragon Ball Kai. And then, of course, let me continue with the what you call it, with the Majin Buu. Then unleashing Majin Buu. Yeah, you failed the easiest mission ever. Stop the release of Majin Buu. You knowingly caused the release of Majin Buu, and had the audacity, the gall, to sit up there and spam the hell out of the Namekian's Dragon Balls to set everything right again because you were dumb, stupid, arrogant, foolish, and weak. You couldn't win with your own power, so you spammed the Dragon Ball's power and used the people's power to defeat quote unquote Majin Buu. How does Dragon Ball Kai fix that? Like I said, it doesn't. Bad writing is bad writing. That script, that storyline is the same no matter what dub you're in. Ocean dub, Japanese dub. Which are the superior version? Which are the superior versions? If you have to watch Dragon Ball Z, those two. Ocean dub, Japanese dub, Spanish dub, manga, and every other version. Manga, Funimation, doesn't matter. That screenplay, that script is terrible. Yeah, Ocean and Japanese, they're the best things about Dragon Ball. They make it tolerable. At least they gotta hear Funimation's cringeworthy acting and listen to their cringeworthy dialogue. Ocean dub has cringeworthy dialogue too. But guess what, Abel? Like I've told you 1,000 times, they're better and more experienced. They are and were better, more experienced actors. Funimation actors were terrible. Were terrible. Then when you try to writing jokes is cringe. It's terrible, man. It's terrible. That's the other thing. Dragon Ball Z Kai, the Funimation version, had a lot of terrible, cringe-worthy jokes that were not present in the manga. It's supposed to be like the manga, yet the audacity to say, oh, well, the dialogue is like the manga. Even though they don't have the scenes that go with it, they instead have crappy reused scenes from the original. So, like, prime example, Krillin. Prime example, Vegeta making a joke when the line was supposedly "See you in hell, Cooey." Vegeta making a joke saying Cooey is fired. The worst one, Vegeta having the audacity to call Bulma Bull Moose, that terrible, unfunny pink shirt garbage. When Bulma and them land on Namek, I don't remember what the original line was, but I'm pretty sure when they landed on Namek and Gohan and Krillin left the spaceship with no protection, and Bulma freaked out and said and badly scolded him, said the air could have been made of cow flatulence. I don't remember that being the line. I definitely don't remember the original, but I definitely remember the line wasn't cow flatulence. Then when Vegeta came back from wherever he was on the spaceship, Bulma said Vegeta smells like quote unquote wet dog. Did they even say that back then? Did they even quote unquote say that phrase back then? I'm pretty sure that was not the line. Did they even say that back when this episode was originally recorded? So like I said, cheesy, lame, cartoonish dialogue, and was supposed to be a serious adaptation of Dragon Ball, serious manga adaptation of Dragon Ball, still making cringeworthy dialogue, man. Oh yeah. Then so yeah, what else? So yeah, doesn't fix all that. Then still, like I said, next is the manga. Not following the manga. Not following the quote unquote manga. And not only not following the manga, but adding animation in spots where it's really not needed, or at least not noticeable, and not changing or adding the animation where it is needed. Number one, during the Vegeta and Zarbon fight, while not touching the fight itself, the Vegeta and Zarbon, which reused a lot of footage in that fight, they still continue to reuse footage. They leave the fight the same. Oh, but they make sure to color the background before them, so there's a clean animated background behind them while we see this garbage reused animation fight with Vegeta and Zarbon. Yeah. Then I mentioned Ginyu, Ginyu the frog switching bodies with Bulma, which didn't, and under no circumstances could have ever happened in Dragon Ball, in quote unquote Dragon Ball, because as soon as Bulma appeared there with Ginyu, as soon as Ginyu as Bulma appeared there, when they saw Bulma do the stunt, and listen to her voice, they would have immediately figured out that that's Captain Ginyu. Yet it took them a minute to realize who that was. Oh yeah, the other one, Gohan coming back to fight Frieza. This couldn't possibly happen because Goku quickly made the wish. It was that fast. Everything was fast. Frieza knocking Goku in the lava and Goku busting out. Frieza cannot damage Goku in his Super Saiyan form. At least damage him and knock him out for a long time. Goku quickly bursted out of the lava. All Frieza did was destroy what was left of his shirt. Then Goku and Frieza, when they continued fighting, they quickly made the wish to send everybody except them back to quote unquote Earth. Therefore, Gohan coming back to fight Frieza could not have possibly happened because he was quickly sent back to Earth. Everyone before he even could think and consider what happened there. So reusing crappy filler like that. They got rid of all the other filler, but they're reusing filler like that. And don't you dare, like the other ones try, don't you dare try to bring up me reading a fan translated manga. Because guess what, asshole? Fans cannot change and edit the artwork. They can only change what they say in the speech bubbles. Sorry, your show was once again inaccurate and didn't follow it. And there's no excuse this time. At least back then, the original Z, the filler was an excuse because you couldn't surpass the manga. You can't surpass the quote unquote manga. So you had to invent material to keep the manga quote unquote ahead. And it was a final battle. You don't want to have the final fight between Goku and Frieza end quickly and basically one-sided. It was basically one-sided in the manga with Frieza only getting a couple of shots in. Whereas here there were multiple scenes where he had the advantage. He never had a decisive advantage in the quote-unquote manga over Goku's Super Saiyan quote-unquote form. So there was an excuse back then. Now, manga's been over for several years now, for basically a decade. Basically 2 decades. The manga had been over for 2 decades. For quote unquote 2 decades, and they had the audacity. Yeah, there's no excuse. The real ending should be there. The ending should be there. Told you, not following the manga. Next, Cell Saga. Cell Saga. I already mentioned the unfunny pink shirt garbage. In the manga, Vegeta doesn't appear to be wearing a pink shirt. No one references the fact that he's wearing a pink shirt. Yet this unfunny, lame pink shirt garbage is still retained. It wasn't funny when I was a kid, and it damn sure isn't funny now. And then you got what's next? Oh yeah, then you got the Android and Cell. You got the Android and Cell based sagas. You got the Android and Cell based sagas. Cell Saga, reusing footage for the Cell Junior fight lazily, and I mean lazily, reusing the fight from the previous Dragon Ball Z series, thus creating multiple plot holes. Yamcha, Tien, Piccolo. Krillin was feral in all versions, but Yamcha, Tien, Piccolo were briefly able to defend Goku, especially Yamcha and Krillin. Especially Yamcha and Tien. And Yamcha and Tien were able to sneak up on the Cell Junior, kick it and damage it, send it quote unquote flying back, send it quote unquote flying back when they couldn't even beat the androids earlier and did no formal training in between then. They could have at least animated the Cell Juniors having the advantage, reanimated the Cell Juniors having the advantage the entire time. No, they just lazily rehash the exact lazily rehashed the exact same fight. They even had Goku fighting there, even though he wasn't fighting because he was tired and worn out from fighting Cell. Only part they were accurate in all versions was Krillin getting on and faring worse than everyone. Only part they were accurate about. Oh, and Vegeta and Trunks being the last two who could still fight back for a while. Then we get Andrew. Then the final beam struggle. Yes, the final beam struggle in the manga was Gohan with timely distraction by Vegeta, killing Cell with the Kamehameha wave. The show had Yamcha, Tien, Krillin, and Piccolo involved, trying to attack Cell. That was actually one of my all-time favorite endings. And it was heroic. It was awesome as a child. It was heroic. It was awesome as a child. And one of the many times the anime was better than the manga. However, that realistically can't and never happen. The impact of the blast of the Kamehameha wave blast both Cell and Gohan were emitting caused this to blow the Z fighters, hurl the Z fighters to the other side. Now I like the anime version from back then better, but now I want to see the manga version. I want to see Cell and Gohan's energy hurl the Z fighters to the other side. Another plot hole. They cannot stand there with Gohan and Cell putting out Super Saiyan 2 quote unquote like energy and not be affected. Sorry, lazily rehashing the original Dragon Ball quote unquote Z. And once again, it was an excuse back then because that was a final battle. That was the final battle in the last hoorah, especially as the Buu Saga wasn't even being thought of yet. The last hoorah for the quote-unquote Z fighters, and this was the final battle. So you had to find a way to involve everyone. Now, once again, the manga has been over for quote-unquote decades. Therefore, there is no excuse that they shouldn't have the quote-unquote original ending. What else? Majin Buu. What else? Yeah. And Majin Buu. For Majin Buu, this is actually, even though this is a video response aimed at you, Abel, Danny's D-Roll, I got a bone to pick with you for this portion of the video. Majin Buu. And I sat through the crappy Kai Buu saga just to see this ending. I had a problem with you back during the Dragon Ball Evolution protest supporter war. You having the audacity to defend that crappy scene where Krillin in the group, where Piccolo, Krillin in the group were relaxing and chillaxing on the lookout, while Majin Buu was wreaking havoc on Earth, and these guys chillaxing, eating, playing cards, and socializing, whatever. When Majin Buu locked on to their quote-unquote energy, and came up there, I mentioned the first part with Piccolo, basically because they're too cowardly to stand up to Majin Buu. They're too wimpy to stand up to Majin Buu. They had the gall. Piccolo had the gall and the audacity to sit up there and tell Majin Buu to go in the city and kill every other human to buy time for Gotenks, instead of number one doing that large shortcut thing you did moments after, and basically to buy quote unquote time. So because they're too coward and wimpy to stand up to Majin Buu, they had the audacity to sentence the entire human race to death. But what was even worse was quote unquote later. They had the gall, they had the audacity You had the gall, you had the audacity, Disney World, to defend that horrible scene where Majin Buu chased everyone around the lookout and turned them into chocolate blast. Turned them into chocolate. We all knew, I knew at least when I saw this for the first time that Krillin and them were all going to die. But these were once the main characters of Dragon Ball. Can they go out in a blaze of glory and go down swinging and fighting Majin Buu? No, they all get chased around. Firstly, it's Krillin who comes up with the dumbest plan in the world. Krillin comes with the dumbest plan to distract Majin Buu while everyone else escapes, even though Majin Buu is way stronger than Krillin, and Android 18 is the strongest of you there. Krillin, and all Majin Buu has to do is sidestep Krillin, which he technically did, sidestep Krillin and go after everyone else. He quickly turned Krillin into a chocolate blast and went and attacked everyone. Everyone got the chocolate blast, and you, Denny's D World, had the audacity to defend this twice. First, you talked about some franchise or movie where the bad guy turned people into steaks. Whatever that was, that sucks too. And so is this. So is this. These characters, who are the main characters of Dragon Ball once, getting the chocolate blast. Getting the chocolate blast. Getting the chocolate blast. Number two, you had the gall, the audacity to sit up there and come up with some exaggerated claims that Majin Buu tortured them to death before turning him into chocolate because the lookout was in shambles. I'm going to rip apart both of these. Number one, if the chocolate blast laser does not hit a human target, it will destroy it hits a wall target instead, it will destroy said wall target. And that is why the quote-unquote lookout was in shambles. You dumb ignoramus. You lame, try-hard edgelord. And guess what? Dragon Ball Z Kai didn't even, you had the gall and audacity to sit up there and say we didn't like Majin Buu because the anime changed so much stuff from the manga. You dumb, you lame, try hard, edgelord. Manga and anime is the same. The only difference between the manga and anime, manga is definitely better, but the only difference between them is the manga version is creepier. However, that storyline is the same, and the anime version is more cartoonish and goofy. However, the storyline, what happens is for the most part virtually the same. You dumbass motherfucker! You lame, try hard, edgelord! You stupid ignoramus! How dare you lie like that? But this is not Toei. This is not on Toei. This is on you lying. Yeah, they didn't correct the scene at all. They rehashed the same scene, trying to come at us saying, "Oh, we didn't like the Majin Buu saga because of the changes the anime made to the manga." No, we didn't like the Majin Buu saga because it sucks, dumbass. The Z fighters unknowingly and causing Majin Buu's release is still the same in the manga. It's still the same in the manga and anime. Them spamming the hell out of the Namekian's Dragon Balls because you couldn't defeat them with your own power. Yet you were okay with letting them out the ball. Spamming the Namekian's power to set everything right again, using a spirit bomb from the people's power to defeat them because you couldn't do it with your power. Pussy ass Vegeta couldn't last a minute. Goku had the power to beat him but couldn't because he was tired and weak and couldn't sustain Super Saiyan 3 and had stamina issues. Talk about lame. Forcing Hercule of all people to step in. Pussy ass Vegeta couldn't last a minute. Couldn't last 1 minute. Survived 1 minute. Pussy ass Vegeta couldn't even do that. Sucked, man. Dragon Ball Z Kai sucks. What else? Oh yes, the stupid edits. Now, I know there's a Dragon Ball, there's a superior Japanese version, which is not as bad as the quote English version I'm talking about. But guess what? Japanese version. It was the Japanese version. You did this better 20 plus years ago with a much better cast and a much younger cast. So So I don't care to watch a lesser version, while the Japanese version is way better. And I know there's a Japanese version, but guess what? In retaliation, Abel, for you and the rest of the Dragon Ball protest bashing Dragon Ball Evolution, I'm gonna be an asshole and pretend the Japanese just doesn't exist and there's only this crappy Funimation version. Because Abel, I actually like Dragon Ball Kai up until the crappy English dub premiered in 2010, and before 2010, when the Dragon Ball Evolution protests and supporter war kicked off, and around the appearance of the Naruto Sucks Army is when I disowned Dragon Ball Z as a whole, including Kai. So once again, me bashing and trashing Kai since the protest supporter war has basically been over for several years now. You can admit me bashing and protesting and hating Dragon Ball Kai is more retaliation for Dragon Ball Evolution. But there was something else, but I'm gonna save that for later. There was something else. There was another reason. There was another reason I hated Dragon Ball Z Kai. And this is when I forever disowned Dragon Ball Z Kai. And that was when, quote unquote, in late 2013 and early to mid 2014, up until Dragon Ball Z Kai premiered in Japan, there were quote unquote rumors that the Ocean dub were going to come back and do their own version of Dragon Ball Z Kai. If there's one thing to make Dragon Ball Z Kai good again, make it great again, and that's if the Ocean dub people would come back and save this one last time. Oh, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And there were a bunch of rumors. And Toonami Asia even showed footage of the Ocean dub, of the quote-unquote Ocean dub, of the original Ocean dub episodes 1 through 53 of Dragon Ball Z. 53 to get you to watch. Then when it was premiere date, it was the crappy Nicktoons Dragon Ball Kai, Funimation Kai we got here. So after that prank, what I consider a prank, after that prank, I forever disowned Dragon Ball Z Kai. I will never forgive Dragon Ball Z Kai for that prank, for promising Ocean dub and delivering that crappy Funimation crap. Although your Dragon Ball Z series, Dragon Ball Z Kai, sucks. You got Dragon Ball, you got the regular Dragon Ball series, which sucks. Then you got Dragon Ball Z Kai, that sucks more. And guess what? Once again, like I said, I know there's a superior Japanese version, but I'm gonna pretend the Japanese version doesn't exist and focus only on that crappy English version with the terrible voice acting. With the terrible voice acting and edits, even if you get rid of the edits, the stupid edits, you can't change the voice acting. You can't change the quote-unquote voice acting. And one particular edit, the infamous "Dude, my truck!" when Vegeta blew up the guy's truck. Guess what, loser? That is still, they still left that in the DVD version. So yes, you got a guy. So not only that. So Dragon Ball Z Kai, in that scene right there, you fail harder than the Ocean dub, which the Ocean dub did the Cell and Android sagas, and guess what? They left that scene silent. You fail harder than the original Funimation in-house dub and the remastered dub. You know this is supposed to be a superior reboot of those dubs. You fail harder than. Now here's the biggest one, Abel. You fail harder than 4Kids, but for some odd reason, 4Kids never did that saga. They always did the Saiyan through Frieza and stopped at the Frieza saga. That was all Nicktoons, boy. So you fail harder than 4Kids. Here's the greatest way. Oh yes. Oh goody, Abel. You fail harder than Dragon Ball Evolution. Because at least Dragon Ball Evolution, when people die, they don't try to fool you into thinking they're alive. And you're gonna reply, well, the original Ocean dub did that. Yes, they did. That was the television studios demanding that. That was Saban involvement in them developing that. They've always had censorship like that. And guess what? When we got to DVDs, when Funimation got to the DVDs, they removed all of that, including all of those horrible, inaccurate translations. Your franchise didn't. Your Funimation was so lazy they didn't even correct it when they got to DVDs. Like I said, Dragon Ball Z Kai sucks. You bashed Naruto. You created that Naruto Sucks Army group. You bashed and protested Dragon Ball Evolution. You bashed and protested quote unquote Dragon Ball Evolution. Therefore, you weren't fair with those. I am not fair with Dragon Ball Z Kai. Dragon Ball Z Kai fucking sucks. And then you tried to bash Naruto. Naruto on his worst day is better than Dragon Ball. And do not ever, Abel, do what you did again. You are not a Naruto fan. You're a pussy ass Dragon Ball Z fan. Dragon Ball Z fan. Like you would watch Naruto, the same show with less filler, with the same show with the same storyline and characters with less filler. You lame, try hard, edgelord. Even a fillerless Naruto, it would still be the same. As awesome as Naruto is, I can't recommend it. If you want to get into Naruto, you start off with the manga, watch the 2 recent movies, The Last and Boruto, the movie, they get all caught up. Then, if you want to see what the anime adaptation was like, then you watch the anime quote-unquote version. But it's just too much of it, and the show is just way too long. And even with the filler, it still takes forever to do stuff and get to certain points, and missing one episode or a couple, you will still be lost. So you just can't recommend the Naruto anime. That's a show you had to be that's a show you had to have been watching from the quote-unquote beginning. So once again, loser, never try that again, punk. Naruto on its worst day is better than Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z, the filler is terrible. Guess what? The main story arcs are even worse, dumbass. And actually, the filler is actually okay. Filler is actually on its own. It's actually okay. It's only when which I tried in the past, when you try to group it up with the canon stuff. Filler is actually okay, but the main stuff, especially Cell, Buu, and Super, is atrocious, man. Is atrocious. So once again, get the fuck out of here. Dragon Ball Z sucks, boy. Then you try to come here with Dragon Ball Evolution. Oh, they didn't follow the manga. Dragon Ball Evolution is in a whole league of its own. It's better than what's his name, asshole. That's how it is with me. Either equal to or greater than. If you can't follow the source material, make something equal to that's great alongside the source material, or make something better and superior to the source material. Dragon Ball Z Kai already sucks as an anime and manga, and yet they still can't follow their manga and what's his name. Like I said, Dragon Ball sucks, and Dragon Ball Z Kai sucks even more. And if you like Dragon Ball Z, you're an idiot and a moron. You can like your fucking lame Dragon Ball franchise, but when you come at people who are bold enough and smart enough not to like these, who are not easily entertained like you are a moron, you are a sheep, you're a hypocrite, and you need to go fuck yourself. And that goes double for the rest. That goes double for you too, Danny's D-World, and the rest of the Dragon Ball protests. Sick of you not learning the lesson. Dragon Ball Z sucks and is only good for nostalgia. They offer nothing of substance to this day, and nothing will improve them, especially not some crappy redubs that are even worse than the previous versions. I talked longer than I wanted to. I'm out.
Recognize them all, and one by one they all go number as they fall. In the face of reason, I can't take no more. One by one they all go like bombs on the floor. It's an amazing to say you're looking for. Let me show you who I am and what I have in store. Yeah. I'm made up now. You can't take